You're listening to Season 2 of By Shawneda, Wholeness Series novel, Weighing My Options, Chapter 11. Hey, y'all. Toni waved at the camera. Briana and Julie's faces were next to each other on the bottom of her screen. Hey, T, how is the app working? Briana finger waved back. It's not. I'm just cutting back on soda right now. I just signed on a new corporate client and haven't been able to do it. I'm going to meet with a Thin Trackers class for a trial run tonight. The whole app thing didn't work, but I'm hoping I'll be able to give it a go with this Thin Trackers thing. They've been around since the 60s, and group weight loss is supposed to be more effective than going it alone. Toni shrugged. Yeah, the PDS diet was a bust too. Thomas threw the whole box out. I'd only been on it for 5 days. I gained all but 2 pounds back, but I'm looking at some other programs, so that should help. Briana smiled. I sold my 13-day diet book back to nozama.com for a gift card. I mean, it works. I know it's not a fad or dangerous. I just hated the foods. No point trying to make a life change that is going to make me miserable. Julie smacked her lips and rolled her eyes. Did we decide on a meetup date or destination yet? Briana typed something on her keyboard. No, we have time. We'll get it together, Toni said. Well, I've got to go. Lunch is almost over. I'm glad we started doing these video chats. I know we can't all win the money, but I'm glad we're all going to lose this weight. I don't know about you, but this is not how I planned on making it big when I grew up, Julie said. Okay, talk to y'all later. Toni laughed and clicked on the close screen icon. Toni walked into the Thin Trackers meeting and was impressed with all of the foods and preset healthy package meals they offered. Their checks system offered a simple way to quote-unquote track your way thin, as their slogan proclaimed on every wall. It encouraged her that everyone in the room, from the receptionist to the track coach leading the meeting, used the system. People discounted the amount of support needed to lose weight. It didn't matter how much effort you put forth, how much your energy increased, if your sleep improved, or if your clothes fit just a little looser. Every overweight person and blog she read wanted to see those numbers on the scale get smaller. Thin Trackers provided the tools from a potential dieter perspective. In her healthy weight days, Toni wondered how healthy being dependent on an organization made a person. As she looked in the mirror to dress this morning, the Holy Spirit reminded her of snide and arrogant remarks she made about overweight and obese people in high school and college. Her mind struggled to process how a person became 40, 50, or 100 pounds overweight. Those thoughts slapped her in the face as she waited her turn to sign in as a Thin Tracker meeting guest. A thin woman stared at her chest. Toni. Nice to meet you. I spoke with you on the phone earlier today. Toni extended her hand. The woman, whose name tag said Margot, accepted it with a limp handshake. She fussed at herself for going into business etiquette mode. Yes, thank you for calling. So do I need to weigh in? Not until you decide to join. Just observe the group. If you believe it is something you'd like to try, we have a 30 days free promotion going right now. You can try it for 1 month, and if you decide you don't want to join, we don't charge the method of payment you use to register. Margot smiled. Toni nodded. She took a seat in the back of the class. The information and interaction of the other attendees made the 30 minutes feel more like 5. The atmosphere of the group seemed a bit stiff and cliquish, or Toni's self-inflicted isolation had dulled her social skills. 30 days offered enough time to help her loosen up. With her welcome packet in her purse and app downloaded to her e-touch due to a non-existent app for her smartphone, Toni hoped Thin Trackers fit into her hectic life. Someday, she wanted to fit into her old clothes. Her first meeting as a member ended without much fanfare or results. When Toni remembered to track, she did great. The new client and upcoming quarterly tax preparations for several of her other clients left very little time for fumbling around on her tablet to input her eating selections for the day. Even after reading, pre-planning, and entering meals helped, she didn't find her weight loss accelerated. Several of her days, she didn't eat what she planned, and one week a client came in with lunch or invited her out to eat every other day. It didn't help her waistline to try to remember her meals before she went to bed. When she talked to the group about it, instead of support, the climate in the room felt a bit judgmental. Many of the Lifetime members tried to offer solutions and support, but it all sounded flat. One of the other younger women scolded her for putting her job first, in the nicest rebuke Toni heard her entire life. The mantras, stories, cookbooks, gadgets, scales, measuring tools, and inspirational books all looked great, with the slogan displayed as a reminder to track, but it didn't work for Toni. Nothing on the market with a team of scientists, mathematicians, registered dietitians, chefs, cooks, and behavioral specialists could be a fraud. So Toni accepted the problem lied within her. One weight loss program didn't provide the solution for everyone, or there would only be one. She heard that on some commercial or online video. It didn't make sense at the time, but now that she struggled to make the most durable and time-tested method of weight loss work, she realized writing down everything she put in her mouth to be something outside of her skill set. Numbers with dollar signs involved, she aced. Numbers attached to food, she flunked with excellence. As she stepped on the scale to weigh in for the final time, another good thing happened. Toni lost a pound. Margot gave her a thumbs up and cheesy smile. Too bad that smile would be reversed when she told Margot she needed to cancel her trial membership. Thin Tracker's numbers continued to impress the members and weight loss experts. Nothing worked for everyone, and it just happened. Thin Trackers didn't work for her. Briana felt like herself again. No more irrational thoughts or weakness. It took about 2 weeks, but the side effects of the hormone seemed to have left her system. The timer on her television beeped. The picture on the screen automatically switched to her favorite on-screen doctor's talk show about health and wellness. Most of his shows addressed obesity, weight loss, and other stuff, topics related to women. Dr. Zoe became her favorite show when the woman who introduced him to the world ended her show. Today, Dr. Zoe promised to introduce the antioxidant packed exotic weight loss secret Brazilians tapped into for centuries to stay slim, beautiful, and healthy. Briana leaned forward. Her attention didn't waver from the show the entire 60 minutes it aired. During commercials, she surfed the web looking for further information on this amazing new berry. Purple, turquoise, and red, it captured all of the benefits of deep-colored fruits and vegetables. Every antioxidant known to man existed in this berry. Once the show ended, burned by her experience on LookTube, Briana engaged the information from her favorite search engine. Not one, but millions of results populated, and her research began. Many people claimed to have the best supplements in juice, powder, and of course, pill form. Liquid supplements seemed to be a bad fit for Briana, so she chose a company with a great deal of information and many official-looking studies to support the claims of weight loss. A video showed how the berry helped the body release the fat and tap into the nutrients of the healthy food on the healthy diet plan included in the monthly supplement club. Convinced when she saw a picture of Dr. Zoe on the site and many of the facts about the berry he shared on his show, without a second thought, Briana signed up using her subscription payment account. Unlike the PDS diet, this company even offered a money-back guarantee. An email from the company and video message from one of the success story members who now worked for the company filled Briana with hope. The website claimed that the supplement helped improve fat burning and tighten skin, so extreme amounts of weight loss didn't result in droopy skin. A secret fear of Briana's, this information sealed the deal for her. This berry, unlike the PDS diet hormone, came from nature. Peace settled over Briana. The rush order request cost an extra $15, but she needed to get started as soon as possible. It would arrive on Monday or Tuesday. Julie and Toney lost weight, and she regained all but 2 pounds from her PDS experiment. The berry just had to work. Energy. Briana felt like a ball of energy. Ever since the supplements arrived and she started following the diet, her energy increased to what she believed to be professional athlete level. She no longer considered staying in bed after the alarm. One morning, she woke up before the alarm. This energy begged her to sign up for a gym membership somewhere, or else she may run up a wall. Thomas noticed it this morning when she made him breakfast after enjoying her spinach and egg omelet sautéed in extra virgin olive oil. His coffee and paper waited on the table across from her smiling face. He said he liked her response to this diet a lot more than her previous choice. A promise to use up all of her extra energy floated up the stairs after her before he exited into the garage to drive to his office. Briana scratched the back of her knee. Not sure if she wanted to commit to a gym, despite noticing each one within a 5-mile radius to her house over the last 10 days, Briana decided to take a walk. In less than 5 minutes, she changed into her favorite muscle-toning shoes and exercise pants and walking shoes. Her music player slid into her pocket, pumping out her favorite old-school tunes. 40 minutes later, Briana breezed back into the house in time to pick up her car keys to pick Toni up from school. This weekend, they planned a fun back-to-school shopping spree with her stepdaughter. As much energy as the berry supplement gave Briana, she wondered if she could have walked to Toni's school instead of driving. They enjoyed small talk as she drove them back to the house. The itching behind Briana's knee spread to the back of her thigh and between her toes. A shower before dinner should fix the problem. Sweat never settled well on her skin. Pressed for time to meet Thomas at their favorite restaurant, Briana showered, slathered on her favorite shea butter, and whisked Toni out of the door. Her car pulled into the parking lot with a few minutes to spare. Hours later, Briana checked on Toni, then changed into her sleep attire. Around 2 o'clock, Briana's eyes flew open. Her hands felt useless against the itching all over her body. It felt like flames spread from her toes all the way to her scalp. The covers flew off her and she ran into the bathroom. Small bumps, welts, and hives covered her from head to toe. A blood-curdling scream ripped through her. Thomas appeared at the door just in time to catch her as she fainted. A minute later, she felt a cold towel on her lower extremities. The room shook like a moving car, her lips swollen, and her eyes felt weird. Dabas, what is apathy? Briana sounded like a cartoon character. Her throat itched. You're an anaphylactic shock. I tried to calm you down, but you became hysterical, and then the rash spread and got worse. You must have blacked out or something. Don't order anything else you see online. Karen told me to get you to the hospital. She is meeting us there. That little berry of yours has some nasty side effects for people allergic to it. Or it could be something else in the pill. We won't know until Karen takes a look at you and it. Thomas patted Briana's hand. Doña, where is he? Briana hated how she sounded. In the back seat. You scared her with that scream. No more crime shows for her. She thought we were being taken hostage or something crazy. Thomas chuckled. Her imagination and your diet antics? We need a reality show. Briana knew one day she might laugh about the itching in her throat, but difficulty breathing made laughing difficult. Thomas pulled into the parking lot of the hospital and followed the signs to the emergency room exit. He parked as close to the entrance as possible as Briana's hand signals expressed urging. Briana leaned on him and Toni as she walked into the waiting room. Dr. Karen barreled down a corridor toward them. You look like crap. Dr. Karen shook her head. Is that your better opinion? Briana attempted to smile. Dr. Karen signaled for a nurse to come over. Please go get Dr. Darshevitz. The patient we discussed is here. Briana watched a flurry of activity. For a few itches and some hives, the staff moved with a lot of urgency. Urgency, Briana believed, someone else's case warranted. A rash warranted cream and a possible shot, not emergency room visits. Dr. Darshevitz waited in a private treatment room to the left of the emergency room. Thomas handed Dr. Karen the bottle of berry supplement. He shook his head. You order online? Briana nodded. Dr. Karen looked at Thomas. Thomas looked at Briana. Briana looked down at the floor. This stuff is dangerous. Natural doesn't mean safe, Briana. Some people can't eat strawberries or they will die. Not itch, not scratch and get welts, but stop breathing and die. Just like you almost did tonight. Don't order anything, another thing, for this weight loss. Keep it up and you'll lose all 315 pounds. Dr. Karen rolled her eyes. 312. Brianna's lips felt like rubber. Her tongue throbbed. Red bumps covered her hands. Hives and welts popped up in random spots all over her hands and arms. She wanted to close her eyes. We're gonna try an antihistamine pen and some cream to deal with the itch. If that doesn't help, you're going to have to get a prednisone shot. I'm only offering the pen because I know you're obsessed with weight and will kill yourself if you gain any weight with the prednisone. Dr. Karen shook her head. Brianna's face looked halfway normal a week later. The antihistamine, a clean diet, and calamine lotion helped to relieve her reaction. A water bottle occupied her hand at all times. Nothing flushed out the system like water, according to Dr. Karen. An email alert from her online subscription payment service told Briana a charge needed to be confirmed that appeared suspicious. Shock, horror, and anger filled Briana as she read the name of the company that charged her for the first bottle she returned. Instead of screaming and spazzing out, she took several deep breaths. Briana clicked the decline charge option in the email. She refused to become upset about almost losing a few dollars. Last week, her obsession with weight loss almost cost her life. Julie used the gift card from Nozama.com for 13-Day Diet book to try another book that a work associate on book raved helped her lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks. Keep it off for the last month. It looked harmless enough when she visited the website of the author, Appalachia Jensen. Instead of finding reviews that focused only on the weight, Julie found several pages of people who loved the variety of food on the plan. Her copy of the Structured Diet Signs of the Body Type arrived 3 days later in the plain brown Nozama.com box. It looked like a navy blue background online, but little stars made from the symbols of the zodiac placed in neat rows. Julie laughed aloud. She made a note to herself to ignore the astrology stuff and focus on eating based on the scientific information in the book. 4 chapters into the book that evening, her head hurt. Being a B-positive, apple-shaped Sagittarius meant she should focus on easy-to-digest exotic food high in fiber. Julie considered Jensen a genius because according to her quote-unquote studies, people with Julie's blood type, body structure, and astrological signs handled alcohol better than other signs with no impact on metabolism or physical fitness. In celebration of finding the right diet plan for her life, Julie retrieved beer from the refrigerator. Groceries from her paycheck were her normal fare. Checked over the list of beneficial foods and found a few she could pick up from the exotic category the next evening on the way from work. A missing piece of her diet plan involved starting the exercise regimen the book advised. According to Appalachia Jensen, Julie's body craved outdoor activity. The only thing Julie hated more than not drinking was the thought of climbing mountains, water rafting, or biking. 2 bottles of beer, and hours later, Julie placed the book in her bag for work with a list of additional food to pick up from the grocery store. Julie sprinted past Mitt through her front door to the bathroom. The Thai food they ate seemed to run through her faster than anything else she ate on what the people on the website called the structured science diet. Not to be disappointed, she lost 4 pounds over the last week, but Julie wondered if it was from the fiber-heavy diet the food recommended. Mitt knocked on the door of the bathroom. "I'm going to pick up dessert from the ice cream shop. I'm bringing you something to help stop you up. I hope this shows you all this weight loss crap is a waste of time. You've never been in the bathroom this much. When I get back, I'm expecting to spend some special time with my jiggly jewels, not listen to you jiggle the toilet handle." Julie cussed. Caitlin supported her weight loss efforts with a 30-minute lecture to watch her budget and waste when she gave her money to cover her expenses. The exotic foods were pricier than the bland stuff she tried with the last book. Despite the irritations, she couldn't stop. Briana and Toni posted their weight loss effort results on their sparkpeople.com group. On the floor across from her, a flyer about a sale at the neighborhood library held her attention as she finished her business. Instead of spending money on books, she would buy them for 50 cents or $1 at the library as soon as she sent the book by Appalachia Jensen back to Nozama.com. While sitting in the bathroom the night before, Julie looked at the diet plan for a few other structures and noticed foods high in fiber recommended to everyone. Jensen depended on readers to focus on their own profile to keep them from snooping on other science types and structure profiles. Increasing water and fiber would cause anyone to lose weight at first. Too much fiber and water would land anyone where Julie found herself over the last 3 days. No diet should interrupt your normal digestive function and take credit for it. No author would rip her off with smoke and mirrors about custom weight loss when all she did was suggest more fiber. Nozama.com offered her a gift card again, but this time she wanted a refund. Her money would be back in her account in time for the library sale. No more book time diet book recommendations for her. It costs too much in toilet tissue, time, and sensitive area wipes to try another unstudied diet. At least the 13-day diet worked based on years of research. The unknown dietary practices in this woman's book sold wishful thinking. Julie wasted all the time she needed on that years ago. I hope you enjoyed Weighing My Options, Chapter 11, written and read by Shawneda. Yeah, y'all, that's me. Please tell your friends about the podcast and join us next week for Chapter 12.